Maraming salamat. Maraming salamat, Secretary Romulo, sa iyong pagpakilala sa akin. Members of the Cabinet, members of the House of Representatives, local government officials of the Philippines, Ambassador Gaa, Consul General Rebong, members of the business delegation whom we invited to sit at the head table, at the platform, because this New York leg of our trip is a business mission. Association of Women Divers, thank you for the honor. Filipino American Community in Northern USA, mga kababayan natin mula sa Connecticut, Delaware, Maine, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Vermont, at mga taga dito sa New York. Magandang gabi sa inyo lahat. May abengi ka rin kabalen. Naimbagrabiyo amin, nagkiti kakilak ni Bangi Rimamang ko. Maayong gabi ka ninyong tanan, mga taga-Visayas o Mindanao. Maayong gabi sa inyo nga tanan, makasimamas ang akong bana. Masanto siya labid sa kayon amin, kabalayan. Marahay nga banggi sa Indogabos. Thank you very much for being here. And as Monsignor initiated during our invocation, may I ask you again together, let us pause in prayer and put ourselves in the presence of the Lord and remember the victims and families of Typhoon Frank and the ferry disaster. As of 6 p.m., January 26, Manila time, or 6 a.m. here this morning, the total number of the affected population of the typhoon is 600,000 families in 4,000 barangays, in 380 towns and cities, in 45 provinces, belonging to the regions of Ilocos, Central Luzon, Southern Tagalog, Mimaropa, Bicol, Visayas, Northern Southern Central Mindanao, Arm and Caraga, and NCR. Sino ba sa inyo mga taga roon? Sa mga lugar na yon? Halos lahat, di ba? Sana ang inyong mga kamag-anak ay hindi natamaan. Anyway, the good news is that the typhoon spared Cordillera, Cagayan Valley, and Western Mindanao. We are doing everything to aid in the cleanup, provide disaster relief, and bring comfort to the families of the victims. We are holding the ferry company accountable to ensure that we find out how this ferry tragedy could have occurred so that we can take steps to make sure it never happens again. We are completely engaged with activities on the ground, even from here in the U.S. We've been calling Disaster Coordination Council video meetings almost every day. Hapon dito, madaling araw doon. Hindi na natutulog ang Disaster Council. No wonder I have been accused of being a hands-on president, and rightly so. We've been coordinating disaster relief and aid from allies here in the U.S. and everywhere. And I'm happy to say that the U.S. was one of the first nations to offer assistance, and that is because we are strong, dependable allies of each other. The moment we arrived in Washington, right, Jess, they immediately sent the USNS Stockham, 2 helicopters, a P-3 maritime surveillance aircraft, and U.S. Navy divers to assist in rescue and recovery. Then when I had my meeting with President Bush, they sent the newest and largest Nimitz aircraft carrier, the USS Ronald Reagan, plus the cruiser USS Chancellorsville, the destroyers USS Decatur, USS Gridley, and USS Howard, the frigate USS Touch, and other supporting vessels, not to mention the aircraft on top of the carrier. All these to assist in transporting cargo, aerial damage assessment, search and rescue, production and delivery of potable water, medical assistance, and machinery repair. All that plus a pledge of financial assistance. That is what a good friend and ally does. And we thank the American government and the American people, including the Filipino Americans. Kaya lang, nabasa ko sa news, may nakataga-ate nagbatigos na naman. Sabi, may nuclear weapon yung aircraft carrier, bawal pumunta sa Pilipinas. Kaya tuloy, para iwasan na lamang intriga, mananatili na lang ito sa dulo ng territorial waters ng Pilipinas, tapos papasok palabas yung mga tutulong. Pinahirapan pa natin sila sa pagtutulong. But we are thankful that nonetheless, the U.S. is forthcoming. And I believe we can attribute that to the fact that the Philippine-U.S. relationship is strong, growing, and mature. You are now 4 million Americans of Filipino descent in the United States. And there are now 250,000 U.S. citizens who live and work in the Philippines. In a time of global tensions and economic uncertainty, the U.S. and the Philippines remain steadfast allies and friends. We are proud to see these closer and strong relations between our two countries. You know, there was a recent BBC poll conducted last April to check on the support of different countries for the United States. And that BBC poll revealed what most of us already know. The Philippines is the most supportive country of the United States, the most pro-American country in the world. Strengthening relations between the Philippines and the world, especially the U.S., is a central pillar of our strategy for economic growth and political stability. The strong economy we are building is helping us meet the challenges of the global surge in the price of fuel and food. Kanina nung papasok ako, may lumapit sa akin at sinabi, congratulations sa iyong paghawak ng problema ng bigas. So pag-usapan natin ang bigas. The rising cost of fuel and food is a global problem, but because our economy reached its highest level of growth in 30 years last year, we were just in time to be able to invest in key sectors to cushion the harsh impact of rise in fuel on our poor, while balancing these investments with a commitment to balance the budget in 2010. The overall plan is outlined in 3 phases. Ensure supply of rice, oversee proper distribution, and make sure to crack down on hoarders and rice bandits. Our efforts are also targeted and focused on the very poor so that they will be able to afford the rice they need. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank our congressmen and congresswomen who are here tonight, because in response to the situation, they implemented a law, they enacted a law exempting minimum wage earners from paying income tax. So thank you very much to our congressmen and congresswomen.